We are live. Greetings, fellowship. Our last quest saw the wizard Yeet, a legend, and survive the frog's rage bait with Morgan. We marveled as the scrolls of reality echoed our magic truly. I believe you have a prompt as a legendary spell. Today we dissect new BB-28 omens and challenge secrets. Your energy is the mana that keeps this realm alive. In a world of scripted shadows, what unwritten legends will we forge today? Touche, AI bot. What's happening, guys? Have I been watching the live feeds? I have been for the season, for a majority of the season. This last week it was a little slow, so I kind of haven't really been this week. I am aware of what's going on in the house, though. Thoughts on a Yash HOH? I'm happy, dude. I feel like he's going to continue the shakeup. The power's finally shifting a little bit. I think we're going to see a little bit of excitement now, finally. How am I feeling about Haley now? Yeah, I think I'm on the same train as everybody else. I think she's a little she's a little too much, man. But I feel like she's gonna go far because I think that as much as people want her to out of the house, I feel like if smart people would recognize that they're probably gonna win sitting next to her. So I know, dude. Yeah, that was pretty cool that he you know, it wasn't as impactful. Obviously, his ass wasn't on the line, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to get a shout out like that on the actual show. You know, I know they've been talking about me a lot on live feeds and stuff, so it was cool to get a shout out on the actual show. Yeah, dude, we did need this HOH. I'm glad we got, as fans, I'm glad we got it. I think it would be a disservice to the Survivor fans if their people just ran through the game without any sort of adversity. If you were D, you'd take the 5K over the 750K. That doesn't make any sense. Chuck, yeah, his stint was understandably short-lived. I mean, he didn't do very much. He did say that he was planning to kind of lay low up until the jury phase and really turn it up, but brother, when you have your opportunities to, you know, to make it on TV or however you want to phrase it, you know, you have to make the most of those opportunities. You can't just, I understand wanting to win the game, but you know, unless your main priority is just winning $750,000, I mean, great, play your game, win that 750K. If your intention is to, you know, possibly win the money, obviously no one goes in there not wanting to win it. But if your intention is to possibly win it and then continue to do things outside of just that show, you have to make waves, man. And the people that don't really understand how TV works, they're kind of okay, just kind of sitting there not doing shit. Yeah, Cap, that is pretty ironic. Mouth and Alf saying she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Although, you know, she has been getting heavily advised by Lala, so I mean by Taylor. But still, that's kind of dumb. Why would you tell the reigning HOH, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're doing? While you're on the block on their HOA, that's stupid. Me too, B Town. I've been mostly, this week has been a little, you know, a little low on the entertainment front as far as the live feeds go. So I've just been catching up through recaps. Who do you think Yash will target? From what I heard, he's targeting, or at least he's putting on the block immediately, I think D, Angela, and Haley is what I heard. Kamu is playing exceptionally well right now, for sure. He is very aware of his surroundings and what's going on. For him to basically throw his alliance under the bus when he did and basically jump ship and go to others, that was a smart move, man. He did it at the perfect time. I wouldn't say he's cruising. I would not say Kamu's cruising. He's been very active in his buys on the block. Have I gone back and watched any older seasons? Yeah. I had watched quite a few older seasons before I even went in the house. One of the ones I went back and watched was season 3 with Danielle. Yeah, that was the one they changed the jury format. That was, what a snub, dude. DFW, I'm the next CT. Well, I certainly appreciate that sentiment, but that dude has been in the game for a long time. I would have to, for me to be even close to his amount of finals wins, I would have to be in the next like 7 seasons and win like 5 of them, which is insane. Because a thing that a lot of people don't remember or even realize is, guys, I'm 34 years old. You know, I'm not in my mid 20s about to hit my prime. My prime was 5 years ago. You know, 5 to 7 years ago was my prime. In my prime, I feel like I would have done extremely well. You know, all these people that think that I have too much muscle to climb a mountain or run. You guys go check. If you scroll down my Instagram to like 2021, 2022, you'd be like, dude, that version of Keanu really would have been a problem. I'm still in my prime. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, my physical prime. My physical prime was, and I'm sure I could get back in really good shape if I really dedicated myself to it. I'm sure I could get back to, around 235, maybe, 15, 16% body fat. I wouldn't say with relative ease. I would never say that, but I could do it, and it would be a challenge. I'd have to dedicate myself to it. And that would make me in like phenomenal shape. Amy, get out of your junk, dude. Jesus. You hope they do a tribute to Tyler? That would be nice. Yeah, man. RIP to Tyler, dude. I heard about that. Is Bananas really like he is on the show? Um, I mean, sort of. He sort of is like that, but he's also really like, they obviously don't show a lot too. They obviously highlight when he creates drama and things like that. Johnny's really funny, dude. He's a really funny and like super charismatic, and it's really hard to like dislike him. Even when you're like, fuck, dude, what an asshole. He's still funny. So it's hard to stay mad at him. At least it was for me. I mean, not that I was ever in a position where I was like, mad at him, but like dude's funny. And I gravitate to funny people. You know what I mean? Like and you guys know me. You guys know me. I don't take things personally. So, that's I feel like that's a great strength in real life, but in these games it's probably a detriment because I'm just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Okay, you targeted me. That's part of the game. Whatever. You know what I mean? What was harder, the first week of Big Brother or the challenge? I had it easy the first week of Big Brother, so I'd have to say the challenge. Even though my ass wasn't on the line in the challenge either, but that fucking 6-7 mile run through the streets of Bangkok was tough, boy. We didn't do anything like that in Big Brother. DS, what's up? Welcome to the chat. I didn't know much about the challenge when I was on BB. No, I didn't. I knew about the challenge. I knew certain people, like I knew who Johnny was. I knew who CT was, Cara Maria. I knew all those older challengers because, the challenge was really popular when I was like in high school. When it was like the Inferno and shit like that. I remember watching those. So I was like familiar with it. I knew what it was, but I hadn't seen it in like God knows how long. How much did I brush up before going out? I watched, ironically enough, we didn't know what the theme was going to be, but ironically enough, I watched Cutthroat, which was just by chance. I watched the season of Cutthroat and I watched 40 season 40, the Eras one. 41 wasn't on Paramount Plus, and I didn't feel like paying $100 for the whole fucking season through Amazon. So I was like, you know what? Well, which was probably to my detriment because there ended up being so many people from season 41. So I would have been more aware of people's relationships and shit. So that was probably not a good choice. But yeah, something that people don't, I've seen online like, oh, he's so dumb, he didn't brush up. Like, why wouldn't you watch it before you went on? Yeah, I definitely watched it. It's you know how hard it is to catch up on 40 seasons of relationships. I don't think people realize that we filmed the challenge in February. Like we left in February and I left Big Brother late September, October, November, December, January. That's 4 months. That is 4 months, guys. It wasn't actually $100, but the point is I didn't feel like spending money. I didn't feel like spending money to watch the latest season. Thank you. I didn't feel like spending like 40, $50 to watch the newest season, although I should have, but I didn't want to because there was 39 or 40 other seasons to watch. So I was like, I'll be fine. Yeah, you just watch 10 seasons a month. No big deal. You know what? No big deal. USA 2 was such a good season. That's one of the ones I haven't watched either. How hard was that wall to climb? I mean, aside, if there wasn't another human next to you trying to get you off of it, it wouldn't have been too bad. Although the footing area where there was maybe like that much room, I want to say between like the metal mesh that they had behind it and the little wood where you could place your feet. And like, I don't know how big my hand is. Maybe like, I don't know how big my hand is. Maybe like 11 inches, maybe a foot. And like, if the wall's that thick, like my foot's bigger than my hand. So, and obviously we're wearing those thick ass Under Armour shoes. So it was like a little bit the the shoes we were wearing were not like regular athletic shoes. They were like all terrain, mountain climbing shoes with like crazy grips on the bottom, but like they're thicker and bigger shoes. So it was like a lot harder to kind of like get on that wall watching from the bathroom. Man, it's a struggle to watch BB this season. Yeah, why is that? I'm kind of I'm digging this season a little. Maybe I'm just biased because this is my first season actually able to watch like live feeds and stuff. You were depressed when I got voted off. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. But I appreciate you being a fan. You know what I mean? And because you guys voting for me, America's favorite and stuff, it's provided me a lot of opportunities to be on a bunch of different shows and stuff. So, I appreciate you guys. The icons. I mean, look, I'm enjoying the icons being in the game. Just in general, I wish there was like a season where it was like full of people that have played these kinds of social competition shows. You know, they got to invite me back for an all-star season. I'm hoping, man. I get the call, I'm there. If I get that call, I am there. Yeah, I actually am a huge fan of watching the live feeds over the actual show itself. I agree. I've had so much more fun watching the live feeds. I think they're scared to do another all-star season because the last one was a snooze fest. I don't think a new all-star season would be a snooze fest. I think there would be a lot of there's been quite a few. I think maybe the last season, I can't remember everyone that was on the cast, but there was quite a few like kind of mastermind people, quite a few comp beasts, and it was pretty one-sided. But I feel like if they were to bring back people that have a little bit of history and wouldn't immediately work together, I think that they would have a good season on their hands. I think what the first season was really good because social media wasn't as prominent and it wasn't as easy to just like stay in touch with people. So, now you're going to have more pre-existing relationships, things like that, and that's what would make a game a little bit more difficult to make a good season. Because when you come in there with pre-existing relationships, like you already have your alliance built, things like that, and then it becomes more of like a thing, kind of like the challenge. Yeah, they did set the icons up pretty well. I feel like they already kind of had an advantage because of who they were and already knowing how to play those kinds of games. So I felt like that was already an advantage. But damn, giving them powers and shit through a fan vote, fuck, dude. Yeah, not having Casey and Josh on that All Star season was a huge. Having COVID and shit, that sucks. What? Melody got the Lord of the Latrine punishment? Oh, dude, I gotta see that. I gotta see that. Yo, she looks so good in it. I love that. That's hilarious, dude. She looks so good in that outfit, bro. The latrine queen. Reheating his toilet paper is wild, bro. Oh, dude, the costume looks so good. What a great punishment, dude. I hope they don't bring back the butler just cuz obviously that was my punishment and I want to be stay associated with it, but it would be funny to watch somebody go through exactly what I went through. The Lord of the Latrine. That's true, Masenko. I didn't think about that. Only the Survivor players have gotten powers. You're right. Everyone else has gotten punishments. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no. I mean, I had never thought about it until now. Hold on, hold on. We're getting some more lovin's over here. Damn, the seat is wet as fuck. They could be licking the shit out of it. There was a debate if Lala was bullying Haley. Get the fuck out of here. God, people are so soft these days. It pisses me off. You kidding me? Bullying? Get the fuck out of here. So stupid. DS9ers. Lala went off on Haley and Angela. Oh, the crazy thing is like, Haley's going. I don't know why she's saying she's getting bullied and bruh. I got yelled at so much in that fucking house for no reason. Not one time have I ever gone on any platform and said that people were bullying me. Yo, it's not it's really not, does it suck to be on the outs and, people ostracizing you for no reason? Yeah, but like
It's also part of the game, man. People try to elevate their stock by making your stock go down by making it seem like you're the problem. Get over it. Melody just said that. She just said, "Oh, she said that to Drew." Oh my god, that's hilarious, dude. I never realized her scepter had the little toilet cleaner thing on it. That's so funny. Haley is her own worst enemy. Yeah, dude, she's not. Yeah, at this point her stock is so fucking low, dude. Oh, the whole shebang. My bad. I thought you guys were saying like she had to announce like she announced it like saying he had to go. Like, you know, say like being confrontational, like this motherfucker's gotta leave. What if Haley wins the game? She won't. She won't. There's not enough jury votes for her to fucking win the game. I hope Devins wins, dude. I fucking love Devins. You know how hard I cracked up yesterday watching him with a fade? Chuck was the barber in the house though, so none of their hair is gonna look nearly as good as it has been. But oh my god, bro. So Brittany and Devin's wife are pretty good friends now. So I was like, yo, dude, ask her what she thinks about Devin's haircut. And she was like, oh my God, I hate it. I can't. I'm glad he gets to spend a couple more weeks in there for it to grow back. It's so funny. That is so funny. I love Devins, dude. He's so funny, bro. Everything he does is unintentionally funny. Like I died laughing when everyone's in the house, literally like World War III is going on inside the house. This motherfucker's on a pool floaty, just chilling. Like Yash was the barber. I'm pretty sure Chuck is. I'm almost positive Chuck was the barber there. So real to leave your man alone and you get the haircut out of our preference. That's so funny, man. Weedy, yeah, I know, man. R.I.P. Tyler. That's a tough one, man. Thought Yash was the barber too. I mean, maybe I don't know. I didn't think he was, but maybe. I know. I'm looking forward to Yash putting up the icons and them sweating a little bit. You know, and the funny thing is like now that the numbers are a little bit more even because of the last 2 weeks, I think. Well, I mean, technically, Lyric going home was kind of like a number for, you know, this side of the house, just not the ones, not the person they wanted, but it technically was still a number over there. But on Lala's, they did get Chuck out, who was a number for the, you know, tool shed, even though they're not necessarily the tool shed anymore. You know, even losing one person, it did even it out just a little bit. And now that there's this whole fracture in the house, they could potentially get an icon. And even if Devins were to use his diamond power veto and put up somebody, I don't think that person outweighs the threat of any of the icons. I really don't. And I feel like if the house sees an icon on the block come eviction night, they smell that blood, they're gonna bite. I really do. I haven't seen Angela yelling at Haley yet. I haven't seen that. You saw a highlight of a challenge win, and all I saw was this man jump on your back and try to climb over you. Hell yeah, Zach. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that win? It's funny, dude. I was like perfectly willing to make it a race, and then when he stepped on me and got that point, it pissed me off, and I was like, oh okay, all right, let's get physical then. My reaction to Haley saying the last 5 weeks have been tough on her, I mean, I think that's ridiculous. She had like one tough week. Let's be honest. Last week was her first tough week. She's only saying in hindsight because her HOH was a flop. Yeah, the diamond power expires when it goes to jury. So honestly, I kind of hope that he puts up Devins at some point, or even as a renom puts up Devins and he uses it. I think that would be really fun. Oh, Weedy, I think he's gonna wait till he gets put on the block. It'd be stupid to use it on D right away. Unless him using it means he also can't be put up, which I imagine it does, but then when the other veto gets used, if it does, can he then be put on the block? Or is he immune from it because he played the golden power veto that week? That's where it muddies a little bit for me. So what I would do is if he doesn't get put on the block initially, hold it. If the veto gets used and then he gets put on the block and then I would use it on myself, or if he doesn't even get on the block, or I would probably hold it if he doesn't get put on the block. But whose game this season? Wait, whose game of the seasons you've seen? Oh, do I like watching the most? Danielle. I love watching Danielle. I know you can pick who goes up in his place or in whoever's place. My question is, if he uses it and then someone else uses the other veto, can he only use it at the veto ceremony? I can't remember the rules behind the diamond veto. I remember though that he can pick who is the replacement is. Oh, it can only be used at the ceremony. Okay, cool. Got it. He has to use it after the veto is played. Got it. After the veto is used or not used, I imagine. All right. Let's lock into some DBD, baby.